Hey, what's up guys? In this video I want to show you a couple of pieces of gear that I use to create the films that I work with on Unplugged Productions. Isaac right now is at his place, I'm in mine because we are doing the whole social distancing thing. So this isn't all the gear that we use, but it is what I personally own. So let's just get right into it. Starting with my workhorse camera, which is the Panasonic GH5. I've had this camera for I think like 4 years now. I upgraded it from the GH4 and it's been creating the bulk of my work. It's attached with the Metabones speed booster, and the main lens on it is the Sigma 18-35, which has become my new workhorse lens. It's a 1.8 aperture, and on the speed booster it becomes like a 1.2. So it's really good in low light and it's just a really crisp image. So I've been using this ever since I got it. Moving down to lenses. This used to be my workhorse lens. This is the Canon 24-105mm lens. It's a 3.5 to 5.6 aperture, so it's not the best in low light, so it kind of took a back seat as far as the lenses I use. I'll use this lens when I really want to punch in on someone because of its 105mm focal length. And the awesome thing is with the GH5, there's a teleconvert option, which has the camera punch in on an image even further. So if I zoom in at 105mm and I use that teleconvert, I can zoom in even further to like a 200mm equivalent, which is really useful. Next up, we have the Rokinon 14mm f2.8 lens, and again with the speed booster it becomes I think a 1.8 aperture. It's a 14mm lens, so it's really wide. It's one of the first lenses I got, and I used it for catching landscape, filming real estate videos. Whenever I want to film as much in the frame, I use this lens. Moving on down to what may be my favorite lens, which is the Canon 85mm 1.8 lens. This is more of a portrait lens, but the bokeh you get from this thing and the compression you get from this thing, it makes it such a good lens. I'll rarely use it for videos, but if I do, it's normally for interviews or something like that. Otherwise, amazing portrait lens. And then finally, my Canon 50mm f1.4 lens. It's one of my favorite lenses as well. A little bit safer to use when I'm filming stuff. I'll have this on before I have the 85. Great for low light situations as well. And again, you can't beat the bokeh you get with these lenses. So that's all the lenses I have. Moving on to sound. Let's get some sound in here. So with the sound, I have the Rode SmartLAV, and that's usually what I use to film interviews. I'll attach it to the groom when I'm filming a wedding, and then the groom or the interviewer will also be wearing this, which is the Rode Wireless Go pack. This is the receiving end. Actually, no, this is the mic end, and it's connected to the receiver right here. I bought this set for a wedding and I plan on returning it, but after using it, I fell in love with it and I just decided to keep using it. For higher quality sound, this is being recorded into my H4n Zoom. Normally this is connected to my camera, but because I had to use the camera to show you guys, it's connected to this sound recorder. And I'll use this for bigger productions that are using like a boom mic or something like that. This is the Rode VideoMic Pro. This is the mic that I'll put on top of my camera right here, so I get some better on-camera audio. Just better to have. Let's move on to gimbals. I got 3 of them. My first gimbal that I ever got, this actually started my filmmaking career. This is the Glidecam HD2000. One of the first investments I made, and it is an amazing piece of gear. I never regret buying it. It does take some getting used to, but when you finally get the hang of it, it works great. So then I got the Ronin S right here. I'll use this for when I need to have a straight horizon, because unfortunately with the Glidecam, I had a huge problem keeping the horizon straight. So this gimbal does that job for me, so I don't have to worry too much about it. And it's really useful when I'm filming concerts or when I'm filming real estate or anything like that. So awesome piece of equipment, love this thing. Final gimbal is this one right here, which is the FeiyuTech G5 gimbal. This is a GoPro gimbal. Attached to it is the GoPro Hero 6. This setup right here is amazing. It's super lightweight. You get great views with it. You get great shots with it. You can go low like this, so I could bring it down like this and get some really cool shots, low mode. Most of all, it's light. It's a super small package, so doesn't add a lot of weight to your camera bag. I love this thing. Next to it is my tripod. This is a Manfrotto BeFree Live tripod. It's a travel tripod. It's not robust like the ones you'll see on bigger sets, but it does do the job, especially when I'm on a run and gun kind of a gig. It's super small, doesn't add a lot of weight to my bag, and it works, does the job. This is the DJI Mavic Pro. It is the second drone I've owned. I don't usually like flying my drone, to be honest, but when I do, this one's small, it's compact, doesn't make a lot of noise, it isn't very noticeable, so I like this guy. Let's talk about lights. This guy right here, this is a Viltrox bicolor LED light. It came in a 3-pack. So right now it's on low power, but this thing can get pretty bright. Not too bright though, it's not powerful enough to use outside, but if you're filming an indoor interview, or if you're just trying to add some fill to someone's face, it works great. And it's also bicolor, so it goes from daylight to tungsten, so you can get both. And it comes in a pack of 3. I love this guy. Below that, I have the Aputure, I forgot what it's called, but this is a really useful light. This is the kind of light that you can put in the corner of a room if you're trying to light something back there. It's also a perfect light to have on your camera if you're filming like a run and gun interview. I've actually used this light to film run and gun interviews before and it works great. Battery is great and it's ridiculously bright, so very useful to have. And then finally, for more natural lighting, I got the Neewer 5-in-1 bounce pack. Stan's gonna back up a little bit because he knows what's about to happen. Boom! So this thing is pretty big and it's been very useful. It's got a golden side, a white side, and on the inside there's negative fill, silver fill, and diffusion. This is great to use if you're just trying to make the sunlight a little less harsh on someone when you're filming outside, or if you're just trying to add a little bit of fill to someone's face. And it's super cheap too. I think this is like 20 bucks on Amazon, so super affordable and definitely get the bang for your buck. Oh, I did it. So we talked about my camera, we've talked about the lenses, the gimbals, the lights, and I use one bag to carry most of it, and that's this one right here. This is the LowePro Protactic 450 AW. Depending on the job you have, it's gonna change what you carry, right? It's gonna change your lenses, it's gonna change what sound equipment you take. So let's actually talk about what goes in this bag. Every project is different, so it doesn't make sense to say there's one perfect way to set up your bag for every occasion. But for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna show you guys my default bag setup. So here's my bag. It is a Protactic 450 AW by LowePro. This thing has gone to multiple countries with me and it has taken a beating. So here on the side I have my tripod and I use the cup holder attachment that came with the bag instead of the actual tripod attachment. So I have this strapped to one side, and then on the other side I will use the actual tripod mount to hold my FeiyuTech G5 gimbal. So that way I just have quick access to both of them depending on the shot I need. Opening up the bag, it is completely empty, but this is how I have the inside of the bag set up. So right here is the main compartment. This is where my camera will go. So here I have a T3i attached to my Sigma, and I'm not using my GH5 because I'm using it to film this right now, but they're about the same size. So this goes right over here in the top. I'm not much of a side access guy, so I usually open up my bag to take the camera out. Otherwise, I'll take it from the top compartment as well. This is the battery grip to my GH5. It is not necessary, but I just like adding it to have a bit of a bulkier rig. So if I feel like using it, I'm gonna shove this right over here just to save space. Next is my camera strap from Peak Design. I love this thing just because it makes it really easy to take this on and off the camera whenever you need it. This guy goes right over here, just like that. On this side of the bag, we will put in my drone. So this is gonna go right over here. And on top of the drone, I'll put my controller right here. On the other side of the bag go my lenses, and again, depending on what project you're working on will depend on what lenses you use. But generally, I will have my Sigma 18-35, my Canon 24-105, this guy will go right over here. And then across from them will go my trusty 85mm, and on top of that will go my 50mm. Moving on down, this pouch right here is meant to hold my DJI batteries. I'll stack them like this and just pop them in right there. Next to that, I'll put my Rode wireless lav system. So I have my wireless Go right here and the lav mic. Those will go right here. This pouch right here can be used for a couple of things. If I know for a fact I'm gonna need a light on my camera, I'll take my Aputure light, pop that in right here. Otherwise, if I know I don't need that light, I'll take this out, and I'll use this to hold all my batteries. I have this pouch right here that came with the bag as well, and I just use this to hold extra batteries for my GH5, and this goes right over here. On the opposite side, right over here, that's where my on-camera mic will go. So I'll just wrap the coil around and pop that right in here. Below that will go my lens cleaning kit, cloths, this blower, whatever I need to clean my lenses. I'll take this, put it right over here, just like that. This big pouch right here has a bunch of different uses. If I need both batteries and the on-camera light, This can go in here. Otherwise, I can use it to hold miscellaneous stuff like cables, chargers, whatever I need. This pouch right here, again, more miscellaneous stuff. I have a gray card right here in case I really need to make sure I get the right white balance. This guy will go in here. And step up and step down rings just in case I need to use my ND filter, which I haven't mentioned yet. That goes in here. And my ND filter is right over here. So I'll unzip this. So I'll take that out, and in there I have my Hoya Variable ND filter, just in case I'm filming out on a bright sunny day and I still want to film at a 180-degree shutter angle, or if I want to film wide open, I'll have this ND filter, and I'll use the step-up rings to make sure that it fits, because this is a 77mm threading, and I only have one lens that's 77mm threading, so I need the step-up rings. So that stays right here. And then finally, if I know I'm gonna be doing some editing, or if I need access to any footage, or if I have to dump files, this middle compartment is where I'll store my hard drives. This is a Seagate external hard drive. This is a 5TB hard drive. This will go right here normally. Recently, I switched over to these guys. This is a SanDisk SSD external hard drive. This is 1 TB, so I only use it to edit current projects, and once I'm done with them, I back them up to another hard drive. But these things rock. They're super durable, they're super small, and they could take a beating, you know? If I carry this with me, it's gonna go right over here. Snugly fitting, boom, right there, just like that. That's it. That's what I have in my bag most of the time. Again, depending on what the project needs, I'm gonna change different lenses or just take what I need. What do you guys think of this configuration? Does this work for you? Do you have something similar? Do you have something completely different? Let us know in the comments below. Guys, please make sure to leave a like and a comment for this video. If you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button for more content. Thanks again so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.